Have you ever woken up one morning, looked around and thought, is this it? You know, you've done all the right things. You've raised the kids, you've built a career, you've kept everybody alive and mostly fed, and yet something inside whispers, you know, there's got to be more. Well, you're not broken for feeling that way. You're just ready for your next chapter. So today, let's talk about what it really means to find purpose again in midlife, when life looks completely different than it used to. And I want to know, what's one thing you used to love that you've lost touch with? Drop it in the comments. I'll bet it'll spark something for someone else too. So let's get going. Now let's be honest, I'll bet most of us were told that by midlife we'd have it all together. We'd know who we are, what we're doing, and where we're headed. But here we are, standing in the middle of our 50s or 60s thinking, wait, was I supposed to have this all figured out by now? But here's the truth, no one does. We're all just winging it, some of us with better snacks. See, the problem is, we've been so busy taking care of everyone else that we've lost touch with that part of us that used to dream. You know the one, the version that wanted to travel or paint or write or dance or start something new. But I have to say, that spark isn't gone, it's buried under years of responsibility, grief and shoulds. And that's where purpose begins. Not with the to-do list, but with curiosity. I mean, when was the last time you asked yourself, what lights me up? Not what's practical, not what people expect, but what makes your body hum with aliveness. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't really know anymore, that's okay. See, most women I work with feel the same way at first, but the truth is, you're not behind, you're just beginning. And finding purpose isn't about adding more, it's often about letting go of the roles, the identities, and expectations that no longer fit. Maybe you're no longer the caregiver 24/7. Maybe retirement or divorce changed everything. Maybe you lost someone and with them the version of you that used to exist. I know it's painful, but here's the secret. Purpose often hides underneath the grief we avoid. But when we allow ourselves to feel the loss, to actually feel it, then we make space for something new to grow. See, for a while I clung to my old sense of identity, the doer, the fixer, the strong one. But it was exhausting, and when I finally stopped pretending I was fine, I found something real, freedom. See, purpose doesn't always roar in. Sometimes it whispers, and it starts when you stop trying to be who you used to be. So maybe right now your job isn't to find purpose, maybe it's to release what's blocking it. And once you've made space, then it's time to listen. Really listen, because your intuition, your body, your energy, they're always giving you clues. And when something excites you, you'll feel it as expansion. Your shoulders lift, your chest opens, and you breathe easier. But when something drains you, you'll feel it as contraction, tension, tightness, and heaviness. See, that's your inner compass. You don't need a 5-year plan. You just need to follow what feels like life. And honestly, the more you do this, the more you'll notice, oh, I feel like myself again when I paint. I come alive when I help other women, or I feel peaceful when I'm out walking. Write those down, because those moments are your breadcrumbs back to purpose. And I know that purpose doesn't always look like a big mission. It can be found in joy, curiosity, and connection. You know, you might discover it through something simple like cooking, gardening, volunteering, creating, or learning. See, joy is your soul's way of saying, this matters. And here's the thing, joy often looks ordinary. It's not about chasing constant excitement. It's about doing more of what nourishes you and less of what drains you. And you know, I had a time when I lost that spark completely. I was busy but emotionally flat, and then one day I took myself out on what I call a soul date. Just me, a coffee shop and a notebook, and I wrote down everything I missed doing, like travel, laughter, connection, creativity. And you know, that small act of remembering started something. And I see it happen for so many of us. When we're given permission to want more, purpose starts to reveal itself again. Now here's the part we often resist. See, purpose doesn't come from thinking about it. It grows through doing. And you don't need clarity before you take action. See, clarity comes from taking action. So try something, anything, take a class, volunteer, start a small project, create something messy. And if it doesn't light you up, great. You've just learned what is not good for you. So think of this chapter as an experiment. You get to try things without needing them to be perfect or permanent. And that's how we find what fits. And if you've already started, if you're walking more, journaling, reconnecting with yourself, celebrate that seriously, because those are the seeds of purpose taking root. And I have to say, finding purpose isn't a solo mission. We need each other to be seen, heard, and reminded that we're not the only ones trying to figure this out. And that's what this community is about. We're not here to chase perfection. We're here to grow, to heal, and to build lives that feel meaningful again. Honestly, you don't have to have a big why. Sometimes your purpose is simply to live fully, to wake up curious, grateful, and connected. And maybe, just maybe, that's more than enough. So if you've been feeling lost or stuck, here's what I want you to take away. You're not starting over, you're returning to yourself. Your purpose might not look like it used to. That's the point. See, midlife isn't the end of the story. It's a chapter where you finally get to write it your way. So start small, follow what feels alive, and let go of what doesn't, because that's where purpose lives. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you'd love to bring back into your life this year? Something that feels like you again. Share it below, because your words might be exactly what someone needs to hear today. And if you want some extra help reconnecting with yourself, then you can grab my free guided sleep meditation. It's a beautiful way to quiet your mind and let new inspiration rise. And you'll find the link below, along with my 4-week wine pause journal, if you're curious how a reset can open up more clarity and peace. So here's a gentle reminder. You're doing better than you think. We're in this together. Finding purpose, rediscovering joy, and writing the next beautiful chapter of our lives. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.